says she had given them to her uncle. Pregnant with his baby 3 months after you break up with him because he don't want to marry you. Girl, what's up, you guys? It is Nisha the Shell, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna get straight into the video. We're gonna be reading Am I the A-hole post on Reddit. So if you don't know, Reddit has a subreddit where people basically put their confession and they want our opinions. They want to know, are they the a-hole? So I figured I would get on here and read a couple of these stories and give you guys my opinions. Are they the a-hole? Are they not the a-hole? Neither party in the story the a-hole. So I have my handsy danzy iPad here. It looks like a mini computer, but it's really not a mini computer, it's an iPad. My man snapped. Before we get into the video, I did want to start every video this year by giving a verse of the day. Sometimes the verse of the day may be from the Bible app. The verse for today on the Bible app is from Jeremiah 29:13. It reads, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart." So that is our verse for today, and now we're just gonna get straight into the video. The first story that we're gonna get into today, the first confession, it reads, "Am I the a-hole for having a third child, though my children from my first relationship will not approve? I was married to my ex-husband for 22 years. Both of my children are above 18 and in college. My husband asked for a divorce and immediately moved in with his new partner. She is a young, beautiful woman. They are remarried now. I strongly suspected that they were having an affair. In our culture, very few people get divorced, so I am looked at with pity. People ask what is wrong with me or my husband that he divorced me. I met another man, S. I had never dated before and he swept me off my feet. I am 14 weeks pregnant with a boy. S was thrilled when he found out. Neither of us had a large chance of pregnancy, so we did not take precautions. S promised to take care of me and our child. We are getting married very quickly. My daughters have always favored their father. He tends to spoil them. They have not been happy about my attempts to beautify myself. I have always focused more on them and being a mother. My children would be upset, but they are both adults and this will not impact them too much. Is this bad? Am I the a-hole? Well, in my opinion, you're not the a-hole. Both of your children are grown and in college, so they're really not going to be in a house like that for much longer. If they do come back after college, they probably won't be there for that long. And if they are, I feel like they should be happy for you. They should be old enough to realize that their mom needs happiness and that sometimes things just don't work out. I mean, I know y'all were married for 22 years, but sometimes it don't work out and you need a new one to hop on too, girl. Like, period, bitch. Period. Honestly, I don't think you're the a-hole. I think you have to be conscious of how your children feel, but I don't think you're necessarily an a-hole for putting your happiness first, especially because your kids are grown. I would feel a little bit more bad if they were younger, but they're grown and in college. So no, you're not the a-hole. Next. This one seems juicy. It reads, "Am I the a-hole for leaving my wife over a computer?" It's kind of long, so hold tight and we're gonna get into it. It says, "I, 26-year-old male, have been married to my wife Emma for 4 years. She was a social work major who I met in one of my gen ed classes. I explained to her I was a mechanical engineering major. She then asked if I could tutor her in math, and that's how we began dating. Afterwards, I decided to get my master's in Japanese to help me gain more career opportunities. My wife thought it was a silly idea and she wouldn't be funding it. So we decided we keep our finances separate. It wasn't a big deal since I was working anyway. I just had less free time, so she was making more than me during this time. It paid off and I recently landed a high-paying job, and with that came more stress due to me having to travel to Japan often. I've really been wanting to get into gaming, so I invested in computer parts that cost around $1,500. Once I took the parts out of the box, my wife noticed the receipt and asked how I could be so irresponsible with my money. She assumed I still made the same amount, but when I told her I make triple that amount, she began giving me the silent treatment. During this time, I began to notice my things were going missing. I wanted to go fishing with some friends one time, and when I was looking for my rods, she must have noticed and said she had given them to her uncle. I told her not to take my stuff without asking, but didn't mind too much because they were old, so I just bought some more. Another time, I was about to go to the gym and I was looking for my pre-workout. I always keep 3 drawers. I luckily had a can of Monster and that helped. I asked my wife when she got home from work and she said she gave them to her cousin.
What's up, nigga? What's up?
I asked her to reimburse me because they cost $50 a jar. She said I make enough to replace them and just ignore me for the rest of the day. One day, when she thought I was asleep, she was talking to someone on the phone explaining how she's going to move my parents into our house. She hadn't explained this to me. We only have 3 rooms. One is her office, one is my office / game room, and the other is our bedroom. She told the person on the phone, who I assume is her sister, that she's going to give up my gaming setup to her brother to make the room, and I'll get over it eventually. So today I left for work early to catch her in the middle of her plans, and when I walked into our apartment, her and her brother were then placing everything into a box. I asked what's going on, and my wife, whose face was pale, said she was cleaning when her brother came by. I asked him did he plan on taking my computer. Of course he denied. So I went into the room to get my iPad we share, and I looked through the text on there, and it clearly shows my wife telling him and to deny that he had it. I told him to get out and asked her why does she think she's so entitled to my stuff. I've never yelled at her, and I guess this scared her because she began to cry.
We do not care.
She ended up packing the bag and went to stay with her sister. While she was out, I picked up a lock for my office. Her sister texted me calling me an a-hole. I'm beginning to think I could have handled this better. I'm looking for advice. So the beginning of the story says that you're leaving your wife over a computer. In my opinion, you're not leaving her over a computer. You're leaving her over her being a pathological liar. She's a pathological liar. She keeps stealing your stuff. She's lying to you about it. She's telling other people in her family to lie to you about it. She took your fishing rods. She was about to steal your computer just because you landed a high-paying job and you didn't tell her how much you make, and she feels like you could replace all of this stuff. I feel like that's a little cynical. Am I using that word right? Let me look it up. I mean, slick. It says, I mean, a little bit. I could have used a better word though. It says, believing that people are motivated purely by self-interest, distrustful of human sincerity or integrity, doubtful as to whether something will happen or whether it is worthwhile, concerned with only one's interests, and typically disregarding accepted or appropriate standards in order to achieve them. So that is cynical. It's like manipulative. Yeah, no, I don't think you're the a-hole in this case because your wife is a pathological liar and she needs to go to psychology.
What?
She needs to go to a psychiatrist. That's what I meant. Period. Jail time. Literal jail time.
I hereby sentence you to 2,500 consecutive life sentences.
Okay, this one seems a little sad, you guys. So it says, my boyfriend called me a baby killer and now he's left me. I don't really know if this will go anywhere, but I've wanted to get out of this system for a while. I, a 25-year-old female, and my ex-boyfriend, a 23-year-old male. In my opinion, that's already a red flag. I don't like dating people younger than me or my age. I'm just keeping it a being machine. I don't like doing that. I, 25-year-old female, and my ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old male, have been in a relationship for 3 years. I've never met anyone that made me feel like he did. I felt seen. I felt heard. I feel like someone actually wanted me for once. I felt guilty because I was lying to my parents and we couldn't be open and honest about our relationship. This caused a lot of arguments. He would get angry and become distant, and I would do everything to get him to talk to me again. It got to a point where we were arguing every time we saw each other, and it wasn't all completely his fault. I wanted him to marry me, but marriage wasn't something for him. I always hoped he'd change his mind, but he never did. He always said it didn't mean he loved me anymore if he agreed to marry me. It made me feel like he didn't love me, like I was just there for a short while, and so I ended things with him. Fast forward 3 months after the breakup, and I find out I'm pregnant with his baby.
Oh man, damn.
Bomb drop, bomb drop, bomb drop. Pregnant with his baby 3 months after you break up with him because he don't want to marry you? Girl, I would be pissed. I would be so mad because...
Actually, I would just crawl in a hole and roll over.
Sorry.
Because that is just so sad. I feel so bad for you. Like, he told you he didn't want to marry you, and then you get pregnant, you break up with him, and then you find out 3 months later that you're pregnant with his baby. Cray. Anyways, let's continue. So it says I got in contact and he was excited. Only thing I forgot to mention, I come from a religious family. I understand that. I wanted to keep the baby but knew I couldn't because my family wouldn't accept it. But also we had no savings. He said he'd work any job but wouldn't be at home with me. He'd provide but always work. He still refused to marry me. He didn't have a job, but I knew he'd get any job he'd apply for. But I also knew that if it's a crappy job, he'd come home frustrated and upset. I couldn't bear the thought of bringing up a baby without no financial support, let alone without my family. My family are not evil. They would have accepted it eventually, but it would have taken time. I was emotionally torn. He always said he loved me, but had a hard time showing it. I always felt he despised me because he'd always tell me when we argued. He always tell you he despised you when y'all argue. Girl, I don't know. It's a lot of red flags. I would've, I mean, I can't say what I would've done because I'm not in a relationship, but like, I would've left. But you know, I done did a lot of crazy things too, so I can't even say that. But he even told me he wished he never got into a relationship with me. Jail time. I ended up aborting the baby and I haven't been right since. He was distraught even though he said he support my decision, and now he's blocked me from all contacts. He called me a murderer, a baby killer, and reminded me constantly I was evil. I never said it was an easy decision. It was hard for me. I still love him. I can't get over him and I'm afraid he's moved on. I can feel myself not wanting to continue, not worthy of a life after taking one. Am I the a-hole? This is a little deep. This is a little deep. I don't know. I don't like to be political, but me personally, I personally would have kept my child. That's me though. I don't think that I should be able to necessarily judge, you know, what other people do. That's what I would do. I come from a religious background as well, so I would have kept my child. But I can understand the circumstances, and I think that from here you probably should just go to church, talk to God about it. I think he's the a-hole for how rude and, you know, mean he is to you, because saying he despises you is like a little cray-cray. But honestly, I don't really feel like am I tripping? Y'all don't really feel like anybody specifically in this story is the a-hole. If he didn't want to be in a relationship with her, he has the right not to be in a relationship with her. But also, if she didn't want to keep the baby, she didn't have to keep the baby. She aborted the baby after he said that he didn't want to be in a relationship with her, right? Like, am I remembering this correctly? Like, I think that's what happened. So I don't see how you can really get mad at that. So I would say nobody's the a-hole. But let me know y'all opinions down in the comment section below, because that was an interesting one. It kind of got a little deep there. Wasn't expecting to get serious on this channel. This one seems a little juicy. So it says, am I the a-hole for finding out my boyfriend met his ex through his dash cam? I, a 25-year-old female, recently found myself in a perplexing situation when I stumbled upon something unexpected. Why can't I say that word? When I stumbled upon something unexpected while checking my boyfriend's dash cam footage. The intention was to get some video footage of a trip. Of a trip we just come back from, so I didn't want to snoop in his privacy or anything. To my shock, I found footage of him meeting up with his ex-girlfriend in secret. The discovery left me feeling a mix of emotions: hurt, betrayed, uncertain about how to address the situation. Girl, if you don't go up to that man's house and boop, boop, boop on the window. I don't know if y'all live together, but boop, boop, boop on the window.
I bust the windows out your car. Na, 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 na.
When I confronted him about it, his reaction was far from what I anticipated. He became extremely angry, accusing me of invading his privacy and checking the dash cam without his consent.
What?
I tried explaining that my intention was merely to review our road trip footage to include it in the video, and that I didn't think asking for footage from a dash cam would be considered a breach of privacy, especially on a trip we took together.
Period, bitch. Period.
However, he remained adamant about feeling violated and insisted relationships should be built on trust, not snooping. While I understood the importance of trust and respecting one another's privacy in a relationship, discovering a secret meetup with an ex raises serious concerns. Now I find myself torn between the desire for transparency and the need to respect boundaries. Am I the a-hole for checking my boyfriend's dash cam without him knowing and confronting him about meeting his ex, or should I have respected his privacy and addressed my concerns differently? If you would have addressed your concerns differently, honestly, you would have been a liar. You would have been just as bad as him. So you're not the a-hole. In my opinion, he's the a-hole. He a liar and he a cheater. Because why are you meeting up with your ex? We just took a whole trip together and you meet up with your ex? Are you kidding? Either you met up with your ex before the trip or like immediately after, because it was still on the dash cam footage. So y'all just took a trip and he wants to go meet up with his ex and then become angry behind it. My thing would be like, if I did it, you wouldn't be okay if I did it, so why would you do it to me?
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
I just feel like that's so inconsiderate. He's not considering how you may have felt, and he's playing both of y'all, to be honest, because why are you in a relationship with me going to see your ex? The ex should be asking, why are you coming to see? Like, the girl is wrong. He's wrong first and foremost. And if the girl know that you're the girlfriend, she's wrong. And I don't think you're wrong in any of this. Like, because how else were you supposed to tell him? That's how you saw it. You was being honest. And honesty is the best policy. So you're not the a-hole. And that's crazy that he thinks that you could even remotely be the a-hole. And that he got mad at you. Girl, send him to my house. I get him right. Next, we're gonna do like 2 more. This one reads, am I the a-hole for saying that she's not wife material? I've had a friends with benefits arrangement with this girl for a few weeks now. We met through a blind date arranged by mutual friends of ours. She's a very attractive, sexy girl, but she's also a bit wild. She parties every night, does a crazy amount of drugs, always dresses in scandalous fashion,
does a crazy amount of drugs, jail time.
Always dresses in scandalous fashion, is generally very touchy and flirty, etc. I guess that's part of what attracted me to her, but it was more of an infatuation and lust than anything else. I am all for a casual relationship with someone like that, but I would never be interested in something serious like marriage. We were having a chat yesterday night about life, having a smoke on the balcony, and she said that she wants to settle down. I was a bit shocked because ever since I knew her, she was all about the party lifestyle. I asked her why, and she said that she's a bit sick of the whole partying and drugs thing. It was cool for what it was, but now she wants to get married, have a family, and settle into the next phase of her life. I said, okay, that's pretty respectable. I hope it works out for you. She asked me what I meant by that, and I said that I hope you find a guy that shares these goals with you. Then she said, didn't you say you wanted to get married, have kids, and settle down? I said, yeah, eventually. She said, well, I suppose we could do it then. I mean, we're already pretty much in a relationship, going out together, having sex, chatting about each other's day. Let's continue what we're doing and take it to the next level. I told her that I wasn't interested in anything like that. She said that we have the same goals. We both want marriage and kids. We get along so well. Why would you not want something more out of this? I didn't want to say anything else, so I kept trying to change the topic and navigate away from it, but she just kept pestering me about it. She would not let it go whatsoever. So after about half an hour of arguing, I just said, you're not wife material.
Damn!
I do want to get married and have kids, but not with you. I'm sorry if that's super harsh, but you dragged it out of me. I didn't even want to say anything. I don't want to be a mean a-hole, but I just don't see a serious future for us. We had another huge fight after that, and she just grabbed her stuff and left after calling me every single dirty name in the book. I don't think I did anything necessarily wrong, but I suppose I could have been more tact. I don't think anybody's the a-hole. I feel like we all have preferences. Why can't I talk tonight? Like, what? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And yours was just not her, for various reasons. You said she's pretty attractive, she's sexy, but she was just a friends with benefits type thing for you, and you just wanted to have fun with her. So I don't necessarily think you are the a-hole. I don't think she's the a-hole either, because she was just living her life, doing what a younger woman would probably, or some, because that's not me, but some younger woman would probably do, which is completely fine. So I feel like she's not wrong for wanting to settle down and getting that idea that it could be you, since you had talked to her about that before. But I feel like you're probably just comfortable to talk to her about that because y'all hang out so much. I can see how she got the wrong idea, but you're also not wrong for liking like what you like, your standards, and wanting what you want. So in this situation, I don't think anybody's the a-hole. So let me know what y'all think down below, and we're going to do one more. All right, y'all, we gotta get a good stretch in for this last one. So it reads, am I the a-hole? My best friend's birthday party is coming up and she wants to invite my abusive ex. Woo! So it says, my best friend's birthday is coming up and she wants to invite my abusive ex. The problem is that I never shared any of the abuse, and it was for the most part verbal and emotional. He only put his hands on me on my best friend's birthday. Okay, sorry. Sometimes when I read out loud, I can't understand as well. So we're gonna start over. I'm sorry about that, y'all. And it was for the most part verbal and emotional, which is still abuse, ladies. Don't, just because he don't put his hands on you don't mean he not abusing you. So it says, he only put his hands on me one time. It was still a pretty traumatic experience and I don't wish to see him ever again. However, his ex is best friends with my best friend's boyfriend. So he will essentially always be a part of her life to an extent. I was perhaps naively just thinking that he could remain separate from me. Anyways, I'm trying to plan her birthday party and suggested this fun private karaoke bar that our mutual friend mentioned, because her and I used to love going to karaoke bars when we were first friends. She was with her boyfriend and said ex when I sent this idea, so he wanted to come. She did not ask me if this would be an issue, but I did ask our mutual friend. This private convo came out later when we were all hanging out. She had extended the invite to him. I felt on the spot when it was brought up and low-key uncomfortable that they were discussing it without me when it was about my feelings. It kind of felt like they thought I would cause a scene or be dramatic, so I tried to act super casual and be like, of course he can come, and anyone else you want because it's your birthday. And I do feel that way. She should be able to have whoever she wants there. I just wish it wasn't him. I think the crux of my issue is coming from the fact that they don't know about the abuse, so in theory I should be fine to be around my ex for one evening, especially since it's been a year and a half since we broke up. The B-Day friend also pointed out that while he is currently currently dating one of the girls he cheated on me with, that she would not be coming. She didn't say not invited, just not coming. I don't want to make a scene, which as I'm typing this, I'm realizing not wanting to make a scene is causing me a fair number of issues. I don't want to police who she can invite to her party, but now I'm stuck because I took up the planning. She is one of my closest friends. We have matching tattoos, but I in no way want to discuss the things he did or said to me. Would I be the a-hole for bailing on her birthday? Is there any way for me to bail without looking like the a-hole and without bringing up the story? Also, do I just plan her a whole b-day and then not go? I feel like as humans, we always have the right to change our mind. We have the right to change our mind about our career, about a b-day, about a drink, about going out, whatever the case may be. So abuse is a very serious issue. I mean, you're right, because you never told anybody about it. Now if you had told her about it and she still felt like comfortable with him coming, that would be a little bit different, but you never told anybody about it and you don't feel comfortable telling anybody about it, which is completely understandable. So I would say no. Honestly, I probably, if I just genuinely really didn't want to be around the person, I probably would fake sick like on her birthday, I'm not gonna lie, and just not go so you don't have to be around that person. Moving forward or even after, I would make sure to just plan something with just you two. Like if it's gonna be a group thing, you know that he has the possibility of being there because of the friend group. So I would just always say, hey, you want to go here for your birthday, just me and you? Hey, you want to go get your nails done for your birthday, just me and you? But I don't think you're the a-hole for not wanting to go around your abuser. That doesn't scream a-hole to me. I would just say I was sick and keep it pushing, because like I said, we do have the right to change our mind in any situation or circumstance, and I firmly believe that. That is the last of my Am I the A-hole Reddit stories for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this new segment on my channel. I probably will be doing more of these because I like reading stories. I'll probably also be doing some commentary videos this year, so be looking forward to those type of things. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a happy new year. I hope that you guys meet all of your goals this year. Like I said, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and join the crew and make it do what it do, period. Poo. I don't think I'm ever gonna let go of that, y'all. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna let go. I don't know if I'm ever gonna let go. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, like I said, and I'll be back with another one soon. So I'll see you guys later. Adios muchachas. Bye.